23 minutes left before court resumes. Everybody's been watching the Spencer hearing and live chats on various different channels. Welcome to Truth TV here on YouTube, truthtv.com. If at any point in time you see this video and you like it, smash that like button. Also, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications. We really need the subs. This is a new channel. We really need the help. And of course, leave a comment whether you watch this live or you watch it after the fact. I gotta tell you, they ran a whole bunch of tests and everything came back more or less normal. I don't think that he's going to get you know, a get out of the death penalty kind of present just because of a brain scan, but they did scan his brain. They did run a number of different tests to see if, in fact, there was some sort of a mental defect or some sort of a mental illness that would have somehow mitigated the horrible crime that he is accused of and that he has been convicted of. He has been convicted. So, yeah, I think that when his attorneys say that the death penalty or the death in general is very permanent, I really like the fact that the state came back with the same logic and said, look, there are two victims and their death is permanent. And honestly, I've had the opportunity to listen to a lot of his jail phone calls on TikTok, and this is a guy that has zero remorse, a rap sheet that's like a mile long. And honestly, I feel that I'm not a big proponent of the death penalty, but I feel that having this guy serve 2 life sentences, basically be around for, I don't even know how old he is. He's probably what, like 25, 30 years old, have him be around for, decades to just traumatize the people, the loved ones and the friends of those that he murdered, I think would be a miscarriage of justice if there ever was one. I mean, the idea that he could outlive the loved ones of his victims, the immediate family of his victims, to me is not justice. And I'm not a big death penalty supporter, but, when I look at him, and I don't know if it's the face tattoos, I don't know if it's the fact that he's just so stoic, I don't know if it's the fact that he has all these TikTok calls that were leaked out that basically, he's, hustling women largely to buy him commissary items and to send him letters and do his bidding, and to see people saying that he's innocent on these live chats at Newsweek and CNN and MSNBC just really honestly makes my blood boil, because, it's one thing to say, look, you're opposed to the death penalty and you don't want to see somebody, get put to death by the state. You don't want to see an eye for an eye. I get that from a morality standpoint. I get it. But, to say that he's innocent is such a disservice to the families and friends of the victims. To say free him is such a disservice. It's a, and then you see these groupies, these murder groupies. You see them on TikTok, you see them on Instagram, and they've been all around forever. I talked about this a few days ago when I was talking about Danny Rawling, the Gainesville Ripper, and Sandra London, who is a computer manual writer who gave up her job to write about Danny Rawling and eventually would go on to marry him in cyberspace, whatever that means. To me, it's just, or look at Bundy, when Bundy was facing the various murder trials, he had, you know, Richard Ramirez. He had also these groupies that would send him stuff and would proclaim his innocence and say, you don't know the full story. And it's just, murder groupies are just, I don't know if it's because these people are on trial or it's because it's super televised or what, but it's just disgusting. So, in 19 minutes, I think we're going to know what's going to happen to this remorseless, conscienceless killer. And even though I'm not a big supporter of the death penalty, I really would not be in the least bit sad to know that he'll get strapped down and get that goodbye juice or whatever you want to call it. Honestly, if you just know the gravity of what he did and the fact, I mean, to me, the fact that you have no remorse and that you just stand there, or sit there and just act hard and act, I don't have any respect for that at all. If he was, you know, you know, I don't know. To me, he's just, I don't think he needs to be amongst us, the living. You know what I mean? I think he had a fair trial, more than a fair trial, and I think he had great lawyers, and I think that he had every opportunity to try to show remorse, and he didn't do any of that. So um, we'll see what happens. But like I said, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, and I hope the families get some closure, which I doubt they will, especially if he does 2 life sentences.